What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another the Mods 8 hardcore Minecraft video. My name is JawshyGG, and today, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, we will be doing the Nexium Emitter, which is one of the pieces. That's the word I was looking for. One of the pieces here in the center console, or the center section of the star. So first and foremost, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually craft up another 3-time compressed nether star block. That is going to drop me down to 1.6k. Now we are up to 13, which means we need 2 more before we can finish the block. And hopefully by the end of this video, we will have the last 2, or at least 1 more, and then hopefully by the next video, we'll have the last one. So now let's talk a little bit about what the Nexium Emitter is. So the Nexium Emitter is kind of like a satellite. It has that visualization of a satellite, and it's kind of shaped like a satellite in the crafting section, or at least some type of arrow down here. So let's talk about what you need. So first and foremost, you need a player transmitter, a nitro player transmitter. It does not say that it needs to have any stored power, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. The supercharged coil, a Tesla coil, a singularity, an EV solar panel, a solar recharging unit, and a wireless universal terminal or wireless universal grid. So let's look at the different things that we'll need for each of these. So for the player transmitter nitro, you'll need the previous player transmitter, a dielectric casing, a dielectric rod, and 2 nitro capacitors. So what's a good way to do that? Well, probably by creating the very first one of these. And I think I have the basic capacitor. I don't actually know if I have the basic capacitor. I'll have to figure that out. Make sure that I have everything I need. I think I have this one and this one, so now I need this one, which is the hardened. Yep, so I have starter, basic, hardened. So this is hardened and this is blazing. So now I have starter, basic, harder, blazing. And then niotic is going to be the next one. And then spirited. And then nitro. Boom. So there should be 7 total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got it. Okay. And of course, you'll want to come in here to your crafters, which all of mine are completely full. So we're going to grab out some of these items, and so that we can fill these up with what we need. Oh, wait. I already have all of them. Well, that is awkward. Okay. Well, okay, cool. So, so we needed 8. Okay, so we should have 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guess I don't have all of them. Which ones do I have? I have the basic, the niotic, the hardened, spirited, and blazing. So basic, niotic. We're just going to move these ones down to the bottom here. So basic and niotic. And make sure I'm actually seeing all of them because I'm blind. Hardened. Hardened's good. Spirited. Apparently I have 2 nitros. Okay. I have a nitro here and a nitro here. That's a little weird. Need spirited. Spirited. And then blazing. So these 2 are the only 2 I do not have. So we'll plop those in there. And then, oops, we can get rid of these. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so now what we'll do is we will look for player transmitter. So we should have 7. Perfect. Okay. So the player transmitters require capacitors, the casing, and the dielectric rod. We should have all of that to be able to make our nitro. So let's go ahead and just check it out. So we're missing a player aerial pearl. So let's take a look here. Player aerial pearl. What do we need to make this? Use an aerial pearl on zombie or a husk. So now we need an aerial. If I could spell. Okay, and that would be this bad boy right here, which is pretty simple to make. So let's go ahead and make that real quick. Oops. Boom. And then now we just need to go find a zombie. And I think I know exactly where I have a zombie at. Whee. Okay. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Wait a minute. Is this... No. Okay. So he is down there. Okay, cool. But yeah, so these are pretty simple as you kind of move through it. Being able to utilize beautiful player aerial pearl. It basically steals him. That's kind of funny. Being able to use or being able to create this stuff is pretty easy. So, or pretty beneficial, I should say, not easy, but pretty beneficial early game. I don't know what I just put in there, but okay, that's cool. I didn't need it anyway. So let's go ahead and create our player transmitter, which is our nitro one. Once we hit start, it's going to basically go through and create all of these materials. Now there's a couple things to note about this. You're going to have your energizing rod set up and to be able to make a lot of these like energized steel. You're going to need to be able to make spirited crystals, niotic crystals, blazing crystals, nitro crystals, and a bunch of other things. So once we hit start right here, we should see now it is going to start pushing through. It shouldn't take too long to finish up, but once it does, we will have that one out of the way, and then we can start working on either the wireless universal grid or the wireless universal terminal. So let's take a gander here at what it takes to make the terminal. So the grid, I should say, the wireless universal grid. So to make a wireless universal grid, you need to have a couple different things. You need to have a wireless crafting grid, a wireless grid, and a wireless fluid grid, because you're taking all 3 of those, combining them into a singular grid. So this right here, of course, if I come back in here, wireless, I actually already have a wireless universal grid because I was actually looking at different methodologies to what I wanted this right here for the most part. But it was pretty simple. So we have this, and I assume that it will work. But if you want to know how to fully make it, go in and you create a wireless fluid grid, which is 6 quartz enriched iron, an advanced processor, an ender pearl, and a fluid grid. And then you want to make your wireless grid, which is just a grid with 6 quartz enriched iron, ender pearl, and an advanced processor. And then again, 6 quartz enriched iron, advanced processor, ender pearl, and a crafting grid. So you'll need to make each of the grids from the refined storage line. And then once you make all 3 of those, you'll put all 3 of those in the middle. You'll surround them with 4 diamonds and 2 quartz enriched iron. So now that we have those 2 items, let's see where our player transmitter's at. It is done. So let's go ahead and grab that out of here, and we will come back over here and to our Nexium emitter and drop those in there just so that we have them, and we'll remove those from the list. So the next thing we're going to look at making here is going to be our supercharged coil. Very simple to make after you have the capability of making polonium pellets. Now, let's talk about what and how to get polonium pellets. So first and foremost, let's create the laser real quick. We need 3 reinforced alloys. So let's do reinforced alloy. We'll make 3 of these. Start. Okay. And then what we'll need from there is we will also need 2 energy tablets, which are pretty simple to make. They just require 4 redstone, 2 infused alloy, and 3 gold. And then you need a steel casing, which is 4 steel ingots surrounding an osmium ingot with glass. And of course, I don't have steel ingots, and I don't have glass because why would I? And then I think I should have enough. Yeah, I have plenty of steel dust to make a stack of 64 steel ingots. So now let's go ahead, go back in here, and we should be able to craft. Wait, no, I need to craft the steel casing. Once you craft the steel casing, you can go back into your laser and craft your laser. The next thing we'll have to look at is the ultimate control circuits. These require just 2 atomic alloys with an elite control circuit. Pretty simple to make. And then the last thing I'm going to need here are the polonium pellets. So let's go back down to our fission reactor, because that is where we're going to need to create our polonium pellets. Now, I mentioned it in the last video that I have pretty much lowered this down to 5 MB per tick burn rate. This has nothing in it. I'll take a look at what my other one has. This has 38 million fissile fuel. Then this has 1.192 million. So we can bump this up to, let's say, about, let's do 80, just because I want to be difficult. And then we're going to come back over here to our pressurized reactor, and we're going to turn this on to induction, because that is what my induction matrix is called. Bypass power surge and bypass limit. And then what we're going to need for this is, if you click show recipes and you go over to this right here, you're going to need fluorite dust with polonium and water. So we don't have any water in there right now, but we do have some water buckets, which I don't know if I can't actually do anything with that. So cool, can't do that. Okay, so we're going to need a sink or some type of water source. We're going to plot that right there, and we're going to grab some pipes, because these are what we will utilize to move the water from the sink to the pressurized reaction chamber. We will grab that right there. We'll push that in. That then does that. And now we'll come back into our system here. We do have some fluorite dust kind of saved up, and we do have polonium in here. So I can just plop that in, and that will actually, without any upgrades, pretty slowly move that stuff over. So let's talk a little bit about why we need polonium pellets, why polonium pellets are going to be important outside of the supercharged coil. Well, polonium pellets are going to be critical because you need that to be able to make that as well, or this. No. Yes. 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 Sorry. I think it's that. I think you need so you need polonium pellets and plutonium pellets, which plutonium is a completely different story. That's something else that we'll get into in a later video. But once we have all of these materials, which is also the 2 ultimate control circuits, the laser, and the 3 polonium pellets, as well as 3 copper ingots, we can make our supercharged coil. Once we make that, now we're done with that. And the next item is a solar recharging unit. Now, this one, very similar to the supercharged coil, you need 3 polonium pellets. That is why I put a bunch more in here. And now I have more than 3, which means now all I need is these 4 reinforced alloys and a advanced solar generator. Let's go ahead and make our reinforced alloys. We're going to make 4 of them. And then now we're going to start looking at what we need to make the advanced solar generator. So to make the advanced solar generator, again, you need one of these. You're going to need 4 solar generators, 2 infused alloys, and 3 iron ingots. To make solar generators, you're going to need 3 solar panels, 2 infused alloys, iron ingot, 2 osmium ingots, and an energy tablet. So that means we're going to need a total of, it's going to be 3. So 3, 6, 9, 12 solar panels. And that's, I think, is pretty much 1, 2, 3. That's pretty much the gist of what we'll need for this. So let's go ahead and start working on these solar panels. So for solar panels, we're going to need window panes, or glass panes, I should say, which we have 2, and we have 16 glass. Let's make a couple stacks of glass here, and then we will grab this and do this right here and make about a stack of those. So now when we come back in here, we should be able to make 22 of these, which I'm gonna need more than just a couple, but that will allow us to make our 4 of these. 1, 2, 3. We need 1 more energy tablet. Of course we do. Or sorry, yeah, energy tablet. Thankfully, you don't have to have these charged. That would be a little annoying, but 4. Okay, now we go back to our solar recharging unit. We go back to here, and we can now make our advanced solar generator. And then, of course, after we do that, we now can make our solar recharging unit. You also need a module base, which requires 4 tin ingots, 4 bronze nuggets, and an HDPE sheet, which is going to be something that you'll have to do over. Give me a second. Let me run over here real quick, and I will show you. So this little section right here is our HDPE. So basically, that's water. Okay. Basically, you'll start off with a crusher. You'll put some biofuel in this crusher. So let me see if I can grab some biofuel. I think I should have enough. So you grab some biofuel, or no, you'll throw the biofuel in here. You'll throw the biofuel into your pressurized reactor. That'll send it into the pressurized reaction chamber. That's the substrate. And then that will create your HDPE pellets. Your HDPE pellets will then get sent either into a, okay, all right, really game? Let me, right here, basically. You can either send that straight into this, or you can send it to an autocrafter to auto-craft it into HDPE sheets, which to create an HDPE sheet is pretty simple. You basically just take 8 of the HDPE pellets in a circle like this, and you create yourself an HDPE sheet. So very simple, but to get biofuel, you'll basically have to come over to the crusher, and there's a variety of things. Like if you click right here and you click show recipes, biofuel can be like moss blocks, can be watermelons, will give you 4, moss blocks will give you 5, and you can basically look through all of the crusher recipes. Somehow a dandelion will give you 5. Rosebush will give you 5. You can look through all the 91 pages here to see what will provide the best output of biofuel. But once you do that, you should be all set. And the pressurized reactor requires water and hydrogen. The electrolytic separator will help kind of mitigate some of that stuff, but that will push your oxygen here into your pressurized reaction chamber. And the other thing you need from this is, I think you need what comes out of here, which is rotary condensator, which for some odd reason is not pulling any water because I don't have it connected to the sink. That does pose a little bit of a problem. But basically, if you have it connected to a sink, or you have it connected to something that is supplying the water, that will basically send your stuff over here. But that's not the point. It really doesn't matter to me anymore. HDPE sheets are not that. HDPE pellets and sheets are not that important to me, so I'm not too worried about it. So let's go into the crafting the solar recharging unit here, and we can remove that from our list. Boom. Next one, Tesla coil. The Tesla coil goes a little bit deeper into a variety of different setups. This is immersive engineering, so it's going to require a little bit more resource, such as the aluminum plates, the electrum coil block, an iron mechanical component, an HV accumulator, and an advanced electronic component. So to do an aluminum plate, you basically get aluminum ingots and you put them in with a hammer of some sort. So in this case, I could just do this right here, and now I have 3 plates. So got the 3 plates out of the way. Let's look at the electrum coil block. This requires MV wire coil and an iron ingot. So again, 8 MV wire coils. To make 4 MV wire coils, you need electrum wire surrounding a stick. To make electrum wire, you need an engineer's wire cutter, which I have. I'm pretty sure I had one of those, but we'll just go ahead and make another one just for the sake of it. And an electrum plate. To make an electrum plate, you just need electrum ingots, and then you can just basically create your plates. And once you create your plates, you go back in here, and then you do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you have your electrum wire. So I need a couple more than that because I need 4 for 2 of these. So I just need 3 more. So let me go ahead and create 3 more plates. So 1, 2, I can't create 3 more plates. So how do I get, so let's talk about how you can get your electrum ingots. Electrum ingots are blasting electrum dust or smelting electrum dust. To craft electrum dust, you need to take silver dust and gold dust and put it together. And then now you have your beautiful dust here, but I can probably make more than that. Let me go ahead and go back into here and make more. I think gold dust. No, I'm missing both. So let me make... Oh, wait. There we go. So I'm missing gold dust. Let me go ahead and make some more gold dust real quick because I have plenty of gold to do that. And then we'll come back in here and we'll make some more of these. And now we have a stack and a little bit of our electrum dust, which of course all you do from there is you just bring it over here to a furnace, drop it in, and then allow it to do its thing. So what we're going to do here is we're now going to plop those back in there, come back in here and grab... Where's my engineers? What? Did it break already? No, it didn't. It's right here. That's one thing I don't like about this is that it... Wait. Oh, I didn't make the plate. I knew that. There we go. Wait. Okay. Goodness gracious. Okay. There we go. So we have 4 of those. And now we can make our electrum coil block. Plop it in there. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is the advanced electronic component. This is where you get a little bit more into the craziness of things. And this is where I ended up needing to keep, and I'm really glad I did, ended up needing to keep this entire section right here kind of moving, like set up. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at the advanced electronic component. So what we're going to need is a Duroplast sheet, vacuum tube, and aluminum wire. So let's go ahead and throw each of those into our section here. And first and foremost, we're going to look at our aluminum wire. We can make plenty of those, which actually I need that in my inventory. Next thing we're going to look at is Duroplast sheets, which requires phenolic resin with a metal press mold. Let me see if I still have a metal press mold. I do indeed, right here. And then you're going to basically have to send that through a bottling machine. Well, guess what we have? Somewhere. Hold on, let me find it. It's one of these. One of these is a bottling machine. I guess none of these are bottling. Here we go, bottling machine. So now, if I put this right here and send that through, I have those stuff in there already, so I guess it's not actually going to go through, maybe? I guess not. Oh, wait, that's why. Once you turn it on, it will craft your, your Duroplast sheet. Pretty self-explanatory. I know that probably did not make any sense to you guys, so I'm going to walk back through it. So you need this phenolic resin. To make phenolic resin, you have to use what's called a refinery. Refinery, you need acetaldehyde as well as creosote oil, and that will create your phenolic resin. So each of these kind of goes in their own little section. So pyrolyzer will take basic like coal and things like that and create some creosote oil, but the acetaldehyde is going to be used in the refinery as well through ethylene. Now, basically, if I'm not ethanol or ethylene, I think ethylene is what I use, and I think you have a copper. If you put a copper plate in there, which if you come back over here to my refinery, you can look. I have acetaldehyde right here, and if I were to grab a copper plate from in here and plop it down right there, it should, in theory, it's not, because I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Oh, I need a silver plate. No, wait. Oh, that's why, because I already have that in there. Okay, so if I were to, let me see what we needed for this. Oops, let me see what we needed for that one. Hold on. I'm actually curious. What did we use for that? Oh, I need creosote oil, which I don't want to do with all that. But basically, you put in one in here. Actually, I might have another refinery. I do right here. Sweet. So yeah, silver plate, and that would have been our ethanol. So if I have ethanol, I can throw it into this section right here, which ethanol, if you don't know how to create ethanol, let me show you how to create ethanol real quick. Ethanol is created in an industrial fermenter. So this bad boy nope, that's not the fermenter. That's the crusher. Where's the fermenter? Let's see. It's one of these bad boys right here. Okay, so if I were to grab a potato and throw the potato in here, that will then utilize some power from these little power generations right here, and that will basically turn that into something. Guess not. Huh. Basically, if you put in enough like potatoes, watermelons, or things like that, it turns into a ethanol. And the ethanol should then be sent through into another machine, which surprisingly, I'm curious, I guess. Oh, I think it's because of how I have these set up. So I have this pipe basically pushing into our other refinery, and then this back here is sending the ethanol into our refinery here. And that is, or not our refinery here. Trying to make sure I'm doing this properly, or explaining this properly, because it's kind of annoying to explain. Let me grab these full stack of potatoes and throw them in there. That did nothing. Okay, cool. If I just, nope, don't do that. What if I just put it full? Okay. So obviously this does take a lot of power to use, and if you don't have this kind of set up to a decent power source, it will take forever and a day. But basically, you're going to send a potato through, and that potato will turn into ethanol, which should then, in theory, be sent into this one right here, which should then, in theory, and I'll just say in theory multiple times, send the end result back out this way into this refinery, which is where the acetaldehyd is. So it's 8480. Let's just see. I don't know. I don't know how much it takes. It's really not like doing anything here. Wait. Oh, that did go down. So let's go back over here. Yeah, so you see it was at 8480, now it's 8560. So it's basically sending it straight into this one, and then that's how you get your acetaldehyd to be able to make your phenolic resin. But then, of course, you need your creosote oil. Again, that is through a coke oven, actually. So if I were to come back over here, this little freaking master or monster of a machine over here is where you would throw your coal in. That creates your creosote oil. Grab your creosote oil. So in this case, I can grab a bucket. We're just going to pretend like I just grabbed the creosote oil from in there with a bucket, and then you'll bring it back over here. And then you'll throw your bucket right there. Or you won't. For some odd reason, I keep forgetting I can't do that. There's another way to do this. I cannot remember the way to do this, but you can basically grab stuff, maybe a gauge. Just create another gauge real quick. Let's do this, do this, do this. And then we'll come back over here. But this is basically, like I said 2 episodes ago, the entirety of what I'm doing. Okay, so I can't actually interact with it there. So, okay, cool. I might be able to connect a pipe here somewhere and send it directly over there. But regardless, that's how you get your phenolic resin to be able to create your Duroplast sheet. So now that we have that, we can actually grab those two back out of we can grab this back out of our thing in here. And then the last thing we're going to need to create this is 2 vacuum tubes. To create 2 vacuum tubes, you're going to need basically 2 pieces of glass, 2 nickel plates. So let's go ahead and just do this right here. We'll do glass. 1, 2. We need redstone. 1, 2. We need copper wire. 1, 2. And then we need a nickel plate, which we have 3. 1, 2. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to come back over to our workbench. Plop down into our workbench and basically throw those right there, and we're going to create that. So I guess we didn't need 2. We only needed 1 of each of those. That's fine. So now we have 3 vacuum tubes, and now we do this right here, and that creates our advanced electronic component. Boom, we are now done with that piece. So let's go ahead and mark these bad boys off of here. So now we go back into our Tesla coil. Let's talk about our HV accumulator. So the HV accumulator is something a little bit different. It's going to require a 4 treated planks, aluminum plate, 2 steel ingots, an HOP graphite ingot, and a bucket of redstone acid. Let's start from the top. Treated wood planks. How do you get treated wood planks? Very simple, really. It's like this. Grab it from your network. But if you've never done anything with a treated, we're going to go into our situation in here because I think the treated stuff is still in here. Yes, it is. So you're going to create a machine. So let's go ahead and do this into a sawmill. No, not a sawmill. Carpenter. Nope, not what I wanted. Filling bus spout. Here we go. Okay. So you're gonna need creosote oil. So I mean, I have creosote oil. So let's do a tank. Let's grab our, that's a dark tank. I don't want that. Let's just grab an empty, oh, here we go. So this one has creosote oil in it. Not much, but it does have creosote oil. Let's grab a bucket. Grab these 2, this one, and this one. So these 2 are a bucket of creosote. Anyway, and what that'll do is that, well, hold on, let me actually, I can't put it in there. Okay. Okay, and I think I need to pull from there, and that will push it into there. So, okay. So you'll need to create a fluid tank. The fluid tank will need to be created, connected through fluid pipes to a spout and a mechanical pump. The spout will then grab, and basically you need to have the create stuff set up. So now if I come back over here and I grab some planks, just regular old oak planks, let's just grab 4 of them. And okay, let me turn these off again. I'm happy one went through, but of course it wants to be difficult. Yeah, okay, so you right click on it and it should do that, but then you just basically start pushing the creosote oil through, and that will create your, that'll basically fill up your spout here, and then it will send out your treated wood planks. So, very simple. Once you make those, all you got to do is come back into your system here, and let's make sure that those will actually work. So you can see I have the treated wood planks. The only thing I don't have in my network is the bucket of redstone acid and a hop graphite ingot, which we're going to start with this one. So blasting, you're going to need to blast a hop graphite, or you can send it through an energized smelter or a redstone furnace. Pretty much doesn't matter. Making a hop graphite dust, you need coke dust. So to get coke dust right here, you basically need to throw coke, either coke or coal coke, through a crusher, or take this crusher and throw your coal coke or your block of coal coke. So now let's go back out, and I'll show you how you basically create coke in the first place. So now let's click show recipe. You're going to have you're going to throw some coal in here, right? And what that will do is that will then send fire with coal again. That will basically burn this, creating your creosote oil. And I'm going to do tank. Let me see. Do I have an empty tank? I do not. If we create, I don't know if this will actually work, but I'm just going to try it with a basic one real quick. Will not work. Okay. So pretty much, yeah, you know, it'll go through. I don't actually remember how long it takes, but creosote oil creosote oil here. You'll get through it and you'll do wonders. Good job, team. We're just waiting for this to create our coke dust. Because the coke dust we're going to send through a smelter, and that makes a singular graphite ingot. No, my fault. Coke dust you send through a crusher. You have to send 8 through a crusher to make a singular graphite dust. And then, yeah. So we need to figure out a way to pump this creosote oil out of here. You see how it does take a little bit of time, which is fine. There are a couple ways you can do this. You can do this either with buckets. Those are honey buckets. I need regular buckets. Beautiful. So now we have Coke right there. And it adds a little bit of our creosote. So cool. So redstone, let's do right click our Coke. Send our Coke through a dissolver. That will create graphite. See, basically actual graphite. You throw it over a fuel. It smelts 16 items. Let's see. You send this individual one through a crusher and it creates coke dust. So now let's come over here. And then boom, we now have another piece of coke dust. So this does take a little bit of time. So just be prepared to throw your stuff in and then go do something else while you're working on this. So in the meantime, we can start looking at our bucket of redstone acid. This one is very simple to make. You take 4 redstone with a water bucket and you get yourself a bucket of redstone acid. So now we have that. So we are one step away from being able to finish our HV accumulator. It takes some time. It is what it is. We just got to deal with it. So it should be done here in a second. Boom. Okay. So while we're waiting for that stuff to finish, since I don't have that, we're up to 1.44. Let's see where we're at down here. Where are we at right here? Okay, beautiful. This still is over 38 million, so that's good. This is still good. And I'm only pushing 60. I think I said 60, right? 80 MP per tick. So this is why it's probably in your guys' best interest if you're getting started off early. Start working towards collecting the resources to be able to build that out pretty quickly. I really actually enjoy this thing. This thing's pretty cool. This crusher is ginormous. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, I wonder if there's another way to make this stuff quicker. There's not. Okay. Well, I mean, with the crusher. Yeah, no, that's the only way. You can do it a multi-servo press or a pyrolyzer. Pyrolyzer might do it pretty quickly, but it is what it is. I actually never made a pyrolyzer, so now that we're working on the last item for the Tesla coil, let's talk about the singularity. So the singularity is probably going to take a little bit of time because you have to go through applied energistics, and if you're not already, you're pretty much going to be behind right off the bat. So let's look at applied energistics and see what we're going to need to do. So thing number one that we're going to need to do is get to the point to where we build a condenser, matter condenser. So I already have one right here or right here. And this thing is super simple to use. You basically throw items in. Let's do a storage component. This one right here. Throw that right there. And then let's just grab like a stack of dirt. And then I'll kind of show you. You basically grab, very simple, right? You grab a storage component, you put it into this top one. This little bar next to it shows you the amount of items you need to destroy to create one singular item. So an ME condenser requires 256 items. A singularity requires 8,192. So a good way of doing that is doing something similar to what I did up top, which let me grab and throw. Let me just let that do its thing. I don't have. Wait, let me just unchunk load that one for the time being. Chunk load that one, and we'll let that kind of do its thing. Let's go back up here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to this little section right here. I'm going to plop this down right here. This is a logistical transporter, and this is a, really ridiculous freaking box of goodies. And then now you'll see this is going to be pushing items into it, but it's just deleting it. So if I do that, you can see there's 300 and 400, 500, and that will basically create, and by the way, this does not require any power by any means. You just plop it down with a storage component in, and you can select through actually destroying the items, condensing the items down into matter, which is going to be something that you'll need as well, or condensing the items into a singularity. The matter itself isn't necessarily important for this particular item, but it will be important if you want to get into doing anything with applied energistics later game, I think. So just keep that in mind as you move forward. So let's grab these two. Let's throw these in here. 1, 2, and then turn it on. Should make 2. So now we're 3 away from being finished. And then once we go back up top, we should have a singularity, if not more. And I will show you guys, I already have 14 singularities, so not a problem. We can go ahead and just grab this one. I showed you guys how to make it, so we can mark that one off. So now we have everything but those 3 items, which we do technically have a universal grid or terminal, wireless universal, one of these. I just don't know if it's going to work with it being charged. So if not, we'll work through it from there. And we're waiting for the Tesla coil to finish. So that means that we are now waiting. Wait, what? Where did my... Hold on. Where did my... Did this one not make? I'm pretty sure I made that. Right? I did make this, right? Yeah. What happened? Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Well, that's exciting. My game glitched, I guess. I don't know. That's weird. I made that. That's frustrating. I didn't need that for any of the other items, did I? I don't think so. Is that what I threw away by accident? No, I didn't. I don't think I did. So we need, what do we need? A player. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Let's go catch another zombie real quick. This is something that may end up happening. I gotta find a zombie now. Wonderful. I wonder, when one not spawn back in here? Maybe? I would think. There we go. Okay. Cool. So now we should be able to make another one of these. Let me just wait and see. That's confusing. You guys saw me make it, right? I'm not going crazy, right? I don't think. Oh, man. Okay. Well. I should have went to the other one because I want to go back down to my cook reactor here and check to see what we got. Okay, cool. So we got that. Let's see. Yeah, it says last modified 36 minutes ago by me. There we go. I'm just grabbing this out of here. I don't want to risk losing that again. I don't know what happened to it. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that because that was, I don't know what that was. Okay, so these will be the last 3 I need for this. 1, 2. Beautiful. Okay, so now we have the 3 coke dust that we need to make the singular hop graphite dust, which means we need to send this to an industrial squeezer, which is this bad boy over here. Now, how do we put this through here? I already had 6 in there. Basically, just throw it in there like this. It'll use up a bunch of IF, and then it'll go through the whole process. It's going to be slow, especially seeing as it has no energy. Let me come back over here. Turn this off. And see if that... No, it doesn't. Okay, cool. So these just are not... Let me... do that. Maybe that'll help? Nope. Wonderful. I don't remember how I was able to get this to work without, like, a ridiculous amount of power. I actually don't remember how I got a ridiculous amount of power in the first place. Where's my... Where did it go? Oh, it's still right there. Okay. Let me grab it. We're going to... Okay. Can attach this wire here. Gives it a little bit more power. This has been confusing for me for the longest time. But anyway, we'll go through this. It will create the stuff that we need here, which is basically going to send that, I guess, down into this chest right here. There we go. So now we have this chest, this hop graphite ingot. So what do we do with this? Well, that's a very simple answer. We come back over to our top side here, and we plop it into our furnace. Boop. Now, what we do, we come back to our Tesla coil, into our HV accumulator. We click on this, and now we have that created. Boom. So now we have our HV accumulator created, which is the last thing that we need to create for our Tesla coil. This, of course, requires an iron mechanical component, which is 4 iron plates surrounding a copper ingot, which I'm not going to make another one of those. Now we have our Tesla coil. Awesome. So we can get rid of that. Next thing up is the EV solar panel. The EV solar panel is probably going to be the hardest part to make of this entire thing. Of course, the stuff with all the immersive engineering stuff is going to take the longest, but this is absolutely one of the more challenging pieces to make, because for an EV solar panel, you need 6 HV solar panels, which means you need 6 MV solar panels, which means you need 36 MV solar panels, which means you need 6 LV solar panels, which means you need I think, I'm not going to do the math, a bunch of LV solar panels. And then, of course, here's your LV solar panels. So let's take a look at our, what is it? EV solar. I guess I got rid of the crafting recipe for that. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay. So another thing that you'll need for the EV solar panel is an antimatter through FTB industrial contraptions. Now this one's a little bit different from the antimatter pellets that you get from Mechanism. So over here in this little area way over yonder, there are two blocks, the antimatter constructor and the nuclear reactor. This is how you have to have the nuclear reactor set up. At least this is what I saw. It sucks. You're going to need multiple quad uranium fuel rods. You're going to need multiple reactor platings, component heat vents, overclocked heat vents, and I think that's pretty much it. You're going to need to basically build it out like this. If you want to pause to take a look at what you'll need, feel free. But once you do that, you click play. Once you do that, it'll basically power up, and then you'll look at your antimatter constructor. This will pretty much just go through power. It's not going to require anything right here. You don't have to put anything right there, and it will just create antimatter when this is turned on. If I pause this and I look back right here, it stopped at 68,000 and it only requires 100,000 energy. But that creates your antimatter. Your antimatter is a lot different than having to build out this entire contraption over here for Mechanism to be able to create a singular antimatter pellet, which, by the way, for an antimatter pellet, you need 1 million polonium, this type of polonium right here, which means you need a ridiculous amount of this fissile fuel to come through, or excuse me, nuclear waste to come through. So once you create all of this, you'll be fine with the antimatter pellets, but the antimatter itself is only done through those two devices. So to create a nuclear reactor, let's see, nuclear reactor is 6 or 7 nuclear reactor chambers, an iridium circuit, and a basic generator. Basic generator is very simple. You get your industrial grade metal, your iron furnace, and an LV battery. And then your iridium circuit is 4 advanced alloys, 2 advanced circuits, 2 graphenes, and 1 iridium alloy. And that gets you 2 of those. And then your nuclear reactor chambers are your 4 reactor platings, 4 dense copper platings, and an advanced machine block, which is, goes through this whole process of other blocks that you have to build for that one particular block. So let's take a look at our EV solar panel here. We have the antimatter that we need. I think the only thing we're going to need for this is our large coolant cell, which a large coolant cell requires 6 tin ingots, a dense copper plate, and 2 medium coolant cells. The medium coolant cells require 6 tin ingots and 3 small coolant cells, and the small coolant cells require 4 tin ingots and a fluid cell, and the fluid cell has to have water in it. So let's go ahead and make some fluid cells. They have to be empty fluid cells, of course. So let's create 4 of these, and then what we'll do here is we'll go back to our overworld base where we have a sink right next to our little teleporter, and we will turn all 4 of these into water cells. Then what we'll do from there, which we already had 4 right here, whatever. What we'll do from here is we will now create our 4 small coolant tanks. Then now we can create our well, actually we need more than that because we're going to need 2 of these, huh? Yeah, so we can only make 1 right now, so we do need 1 more fluid cell. Cool. Which is fine. Actually, we need 3 of the... no, we're good. There we go. Okay, so now we have 2 of these medium coolant cells. Now we can make the large coolant cell. Which the large coolant cell, probably the easiest part to make of this. Once you get, well, the block of netherite too is just 9 netherite ingots. The antimatter, of course, it's rather challenging because you have to know exactly what you're putting where. But once you have these 3, it's time to work on the solar panels. So let's go back into our main base here, and we will take a look at our crafting and see what we do not need in here. Don't need you, don't need you. Okay, so we'll do that. Just going to grab all these out of here. Keep doing that. Stop doing that. Okay, so now we're going to come back into our craft right here, and we're going to start by creating the patterns for this. So the HV solar panel, pretty simple. LV solar panel will be after that. Or wait, hold on, let me make sure I'm doing this right. EV, HV, MV, and then we'll need the LV after that. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so a good way to tell if you have everything you need for this is when you highlight over it, like right here, you can see I have all the stuff for this. So like if, for instance, I do this right here and plop these 4 in there, come back in here and I do EV solar, which is the one I need, and I do start crafting 1, you'll see that I'm missing all of these. So if I plop this back right there, I do this, now it should say I have that. Now I don't have the recipes, the patterns for these devices. So yes, let's go ahead and make the patterns for those then, shall we? Okay. So for this, we're going to need a pattern for the graphening, which is compressed coal balls through a compressor, which I don't actually know how many of those I have. I have 1. Helpful. And obsidian, which the obsidian is not the hard part, but this requires coal and flint, which we do have the capability of making that. So then we'll come back into here, and then let me create like 2 stacks of those. Okay, now what I meant to do, what is that called? Coal ball. Wait, I actually have 47 of these. So I need to send this through a compressor. So again, to create the graphene, you need to send the coal balls through a compressor, which I should have a compressor in here, which requires a different type of energy, which I don't care. Just going to plop you down right there. We're going to grab a flux point, plop you down on top, and we're going to try to give you power, but you're not going to work. Beautiful. Okay, so that's obviously not going to do what I needed it to do. Okay, so let's see here. What did I do? Oh yeah, in my overworld one, I have it set up in the back. Over here, I might actually have a compressor. I do. Beautiful. So if I take the compressor and I plop it in here, that will compress it down. There are modules that you can put into this, which I have one right here, and that'll kind of speed it up a little bit. Are you serious? Goodness gracious. Which I guess is not speeding it up enough, but you get the idea. So let's kind of wait a second. I don't know where it's pulling its power from. This basic generator, which has an MV battery and coal in it, which we should probably go with filling that coal back up. Beautiful. Okay. So we'll let this kind of do its thing for a second, and I will kind of talk about this next piece. So on top of that, you also need an advanced machine block. The advanced machine block requires 4 copper coils, carbon plates, 2 advanced alloys, and then a regular machine block, which requires industrial grade metal and a fuse. Industrial grade metal, you basically smelt an iron ingot. So let's go ahead and grab a bunch of iron and throw it into our furnace right here. So do that. Those will basically stick around for me, so that's good. And then of course we do this right here with obsidian in the middle. It creates our graphene. Beautiful. We just need 6 of these. So I got to let that thing kind of do its thing. We'll let it roll through. Let's see. I think I should be able to craft that now. Maybe I don't have enough flint. It poses a little bit of a problem for me. I don't have any stone essence. Ugh. Cool. I have 9 flint. How do I only have 9? How have I made it this far with only 9 flint? That's weird. Okay, so we have a bunch of those to make one of those. Okay. I need more fuses too. Good. Okay. That'll be enough for right now, I think. We'll get back to it here in a second. I don't actually remember how many of these I'll need. 6, maybe? Yeah. Copper coils, pretty simple. Just copper wire around an iron rod. Iron rods are just 2 iron like that with a hammer. I'm going to do this. Beautiful. Then, of course, we need our copper wires. Do that. Make our copper coils. Make 15 of those, which I think I might need more of those, but we'll get to it whenever we need to. All right. So now we need our carbon plates, which is carbon fiber mesh in a, I believe, compressor. Whoops, wrong one. In a compressor, yes. Carbon fiber mesh. Carbon. So I don't have any carbon fiber mesh, but to make carbon fiber mesh, not that difficult. It's just 4 of these little carbon fibers, which is 4 of coal dust, which to make coal dust, not that difficult. I keep saying that like I shouldn't already have this stuff, but basically it's just macerating or crushing coal, which if we do coal, we can grab a bunch of coal from here. And now we come back over here and we have a macerator right there. And if we just basically put in all the coal right there, we should be okay. Beautiful. That will send it through, and then after it's done right there, it will then send it up here. Beautiful. So, once we make these 2, basically, once we finish up these 2, we'll be able to, let me just put that back right there. And then we'll do what we got to do with these real quick. So, keep clicking the wrong thing. We make 9 of those, which means we need another compressor. So we have 2 macerators right here and a canning machine up top, which the canning machine is going to be pretty important for whenever we inevitably start doing the oxygen stuff, which we don't have to do anything for this. Not yet, at least, but we will. So yeah. So once we get these 2 right here, plop those in there, and then we can make a singular advanced machine block. So that's one out of the 6 we need. And then of course you start looking at what we need for the MV solar panels. It's just, there's a lot to it. So let's go back into our overworld right here, or our mining dimension world. Let's take a look at the other items that we're going to need for this machine block. We can do this right here. We're going to need the iridium circuit, which we should be okay. I think we have advanced circuits. We do not have advanced. Actually, we do not have advanced circuits. So let's make the pattern for an advanced circuit as well. Do we have an electronic circuit? We do not even have an electronic circuit. Beautiful. Oh boy. Why did I get rid of all these patterns? We do have industrial grade metal, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what it said. But basically, yeah. So we have so far the advanced machine block, iridium circuit, advanced circuit, and then the electronic circuit. So we can come in here. We can grab all this stuff out of there. And then we can basically put Let's see here. You. And I'm just going to throw these patterns as they are in here. Weirdly enough, I have... Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now we come back in here, and when I do EV craft, now you see I'm missing iridium alloy. So let's take a look at iridium alloy. What do we need for this? So we'll come back into our pattern creator, and we'll basically just say, hey, take some advanced alloys, put them around some diamonds, and make me some iridium alloy. Beautiful. Okay, cool. And then the next thing we're going to need to have a pattern for is the copper coils. Beautiful. Oopsies, copper coil. So we'll make a pattern for this. I'm not going to make a pattern for iron rods. Oops. Because that honestly just will not work in unfortunate turn of events. Then EV. What else? Graphene, we're good. Coal dust. Going to require... coal dust, I think, is just a hammer. No, it's macerating it, which technically could crush down coal into it faster, maybe. Or I could send it into an actual crusher, which I think I actually have one. I can set a crusher up here, and that would be a lot quicker. Let's do that. We'll do it right here because I like to be extremely difficult. And of course, I'm going to break things that I don't mean to break. Universal, grab you. Then of course we need another cable. A couple more cables, I should say. And I think, actually, we won't need a cable. No, we won't need a cable. We need a crafter, though. Do we have a crafter? Can I make an iron crafter? I'm missing a block of iron. Actually, let me just make a regular crafter. I don't need anything too fancy on this. So let's just go ahead and do that. And then we will plop our crusher down right there. Plop that right there. And then now our crafter should be done. And then we'll just... boop. Beautiful. Okay. So now... coal dust. We will send it through a crusher. And then boom. Come back into here. Do EV. Click craft. And we're missing LV cables. How do we make LV cables, you may be asking? LV cable is pretty simple. Cured rubber and copper ingots, or one cured rubber and one copper. So you can see, I don't know how much cured rubber I have. 26. I don't think that's going to be enough for what we need. I think we need a lot more than 26. just a few. So let's do cured rubber. See what we need to do to make cured rubber. So a smelter, we send slime through right there. Okay, that was weird. There we go. And we'll come over here and we'll drop it in here. Wait, I already have cured rubber in there. Why? Oh, well, I don't have this. Okay. Okay, so I don't actually have the pattern for that then. That's what it's saying. So I need the LV cable. Just need the pattern for this. Got it. Okay. Come back here to EV, craft, start, slime boss. Okay. So now slime, different story. I need to grab you. And as much as I shouldn't do this. I need to do this right here. see where we're at with our nether stars. Can we craft another one? We are 815 away from crafting another nether star. Granted, we have a lot of these. I mean, we have been playing for an hour and 10 minutes. Surprisingly. $29. Okay, cool. And we're at, what, 14? Or 13 right now? So we're going to be missing one. Hold on. I just heard something. Okay, so nothing over here's exploded. Cool. I just, for some odd reason, heard an explosion and got really confused. Anyway, so that'll build up our slime a little bit. Shouldn't be a problem. So now let's do EV. How much slime do we need? 1,899. We also need basic generators. Let's look at our basic generator. What do we need for this? Let's do this. Come in here. Do this. This, and see what we'll need for this. I don't assume that I have all the material I need for that. Yeah, I need some LV batteries. LV battery. Which if you click on this and you highlight over, it'll actually show you which what you actually have ingredients for. Here's what it is. EV. Then what we'll need from here is basically just the carbon plates. Only missing 10 carbon plates, 11 graphene. That's not too bad. Let me go back to the overworld base then. Told you guys these videos are going to be longer. These videos are mostly just educational type of videos because I want to do better for you guys. What do I need? Hold on. Forgot what I needed the gold dust for. What? Hold on. What do I need again? Oh, that's what I need it for. Cool. Okay, so we'll do this, and then we'll do this, this. How many do we need? How many of these are we missing? We need 10 more. So we need 4 more. That's going to be enough for 1. Okay. I think that should be enough carbon plates. Yep. Cool. So iron furnaces. So we're going to need a pattern for iron furnaces, or I could just... Okay, so which type of iron furnace? Hold on. Industrial contraptions. Got it. Beautiful. I think we're good on iron furnaces. No, we need 96 more. Not good on iron furnaces. Oops, iron furnace. Interesting. Now we're good on iron furnaces. If we're not, then that's a different problem. Okay, cool. So then we'll come back here, do graphene. If this dude doesn't get out of my face, we're gonna fight. Okay, so we need. Can I help you? I need. Y'all saw nothing. All right, so we're gonna need more flint. How can we get more flint? You may be asking. Well, there might be an easy way to do this real quick. Let's take a look-see at what our dudes down here have to sell. Neither of you are selling flint. Actually, yeah, okay. Kind of rude, but okay. Here's a good way to do it. I mean, yeah, you know. What? So confused. Does this not work like it's supposed to? Like I thought this was supposed to. Do I not get gravel for the or flint for this like this? Hold on. Am I doing this wrong? Separator. Enrichment chamber. Well, that's one way to do it. Okay. So I guess we'll just, I don't know why I wasn't doing that in the first place. Anyway, not the point. Okay. Okay. I'm learning too. So this is a good way for new players to learn, is for me to learn while I'm learning them. Okay. I don't need the sass. So you throw gravel into an enrichment chamber, that gets you flint. See, works perfectly fine every time. Boom. 12. Got it. Cool. Okay. Let's go back. Let that thing do its thing. Let this thing keep doing its thing. And then boom. Look at there. We're going to have enough graphene, guys. All right. So I think the last thing we're really going to need to make the EV solar panel is the slime. The slime is... Oh, we're missing 5, not 3. The slime is... How are we... Hold on. Don't I have... I thought I had slime seeds planted. Did I not? I guess I'll do that. That should help out a little bit, right? $15.09. Still missing a bunch. I don't know why. I just can't. I think I had issues with... Where did I have that at? Hold on. I'm not gonna have enough. Where did I put that at? I think it was in the refined storage one. Let me go back over here, because I do have a section that I was using. Yes, in here. This piece right here. This bad boy right here. And we'll do this, and then we'll do this. This is how we were getting our... well, as you can tell, a lot of stuff. If you're new and you're unsure what you're looking at here, the The centrifugal separator from thermal series will actually separate your magma balls or magma cube or not, yeah, your magma cream into slime balls and blaze powder. And that helps kind of get you a ridiculous amount of slime. So if we go back and look at our slime balls, we're up to 2,200, which means now if I go to EV, click start, we're missing only 800 now. So that will require a little bit of timing to allow this to kind of run in the back end, so that you're not like having to stand here. Of course, I'm completely chunk loaded out. Unfortunately, playing hardcore, I don't think I'm able to adjust that, but that's okay. Let's do Nether Star. We should be able to craft this now. Beautiful. Okay, so the only other thing we're missing with the EV is the graphene, which we come back in here, go to our graphene, click this, click this, click this, and we should be able to make 52 of these. Let's go home now. Whee. And we'll throw these back in the macerator here over here. Which I probably should bring this stuff over to our mining dimension base. This is still chunk loaded. I'm going to unchunk load this and unchunk load this because I don't necessarily need these anymore. And now we're going to come back into here and we're going to go back into our old refined storage compact machine. And that will allow me to chunk load that so that we can continue working it. So it's going to be this one right here. And it'll continue actually working in the background while we do the rest of our stuff. Boom. See? Beautiful. Okay. So now, come back to our thing right here. We got another star. We still have 500 left of those, and we're up to 14, which means we are one nether star block away from creating our first ATM star, which means we're at 93%, 14 out of 15. That's insane. We're almost there, guys. We are so close. And I'm going to try to finish up the EV solar panel here in this video. So again, this is going to be a longer video, and I'm not sad. I'm not sorry about it. All right, just deal with it. So let's go back to our EV, click start, and we're missing 4 more of these and 798 slime. So we'll go back to our overworld and allow that to continue building out our compressed coil balls, whatever they're called. These guys, compressed coal balls. And then we'll come back to our graphene. That gives us up to 10, which means now we are 2 away. So we just need 16 more of these. So, yeah. So as you can tell, building just the Nexium emitter, which this was the one that probably going to take I'm not going to say take the shortest amount of time. The EV solar panel here is absolutely a struggle in and of itself. Everything else is pretty smooth, for the most part. So just be mindful when you start building. This is kind of the route you're going to be taking. Even if you have enough resources for everything, it's going to be time consuming because you have to go through all of the separate kind of like motions to build everything. The 2 things that are likely going to be a problem for me, at least, creating a second ATM star are the nether stars and like things like emeralds. Now, if I go back into our thing here and I click emerald, you can see I have 137,000 emerald essence with 56,000 of these. If I click this, I still need 58,000. Wait, what? Oh, I need 58,000 emerald blocks of emerald. This right here is not going to be enough. It would actually be really funny if this... No, this can't be enough. This can't be enough to create another 5 times compressed emerald block. No. It's not going to be enough. I'll have to put all the evokers back in, but running the nether star one is absolutely going to be a necessity for the next ATM star while we're building the rest of the parts. We'll have the ATM star, the first ATM star completed before we even get close to finishing the second one. So, which is normal, you would think, but I am trying to rush through things quickly. So if I click this right here, you can see we need 58,000 blocks of emerald, which means multiply that by 9, and that tells you how many emeralds we're going to need. So let's take a look at where we're at with this 20, which means now if we come back to our graphene, do this, this, and this, we now have almost, no, we do have enough. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're up to 12. So if we come back to our EV solar panel, the only thing we're waiting on is slime balls. Beautiful. Which the slime shouldn't take too long because I have a lot of magma cream, I think. I hope. Yeah, I have 3.7k magma cream. And all that's running through the thermal series thing, so it shouldn't be too bad. So let's, I think it's this one. Boom. And of course, this is not going to be a quick process. Like, of course, I don't have any, oh wait. Oh, you know why? I don't have this connected to a network anymore. So let me do this real quick. I don't know how fast this actually runs. I don't think I need this many. Actually, I have 5 hours in this, so. And I still have 4 hours and 50 minutes in this, which means I'm going to throw those on the nether stars outside. So let's throw these in here, see where we're at with EV. We still need 667. So while that's doing its thing, I'm going to go back out to our simulation chambers and bump up these nether star simulations a little bit so that we can try to get closer to having the last nether star block. Or, yeah, nether star block. Yeah, it's going to take some time. Cool. And that still has 3. That didn't even use a lot of time. Wow, that's crazy. Cool. I'm not complaining. Not as much power. Let's do augment for thermal series. Which actually, a good way to know what you can put into these, I would use these integral components. So if I come back in here and do integral, I have this one right here, and this will actually upgrade the speed that it goes pretty significantly. Also, we're going to do this real quick. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Porter, doot. We're going to run back over here, and we're going to set up a network transmitter so it automatically pulls, so I don't have to keep checking it over there. Okay. Boop. Boop. Okay. Now sign. Okay, so I know what that means. So we come back to EV, we click craft, and you can see we're at 503, and then we're at 502. So it's a slow process. It's not going to be super quick, unless, of course, I come in here and I create the draconic one here. Actually, I'm curious if I even have... No, I don't. Well, I could make... Can I make 2 of these? I can. Can I make... I don't have any of these. Electrum, let's see. I wonder. I want to see if I can actually make this. Not what I wanted. I wanted this one. What am I missing from this one? These two, which means I'm missing these guys, which means I'm missing this guy. Should be fine. Okay, this. Those. Do. Beautiful. Okay. So now, you can speed that up a little bit more than what we originally had it at. Boop. You can actually look augmentation right here. These will speed it up significantly, and that's still sending everything over there. Go back, checking on our EV, and we're at 471. So you can see that it does do pretty good. Now, if I come back over here and I speed this up to 256, speed that up, it's not really going to do anything right there, but it will be sending our, slimes and everything in pretty quickly. So we'll just keep going until this is finished, and then we'll go from there. I told you guys I was going to make longer videos, and the reason for that is to allow us to be able... Oh, wait, you know what I didn't do? That could be helpful. We just need to make one of these. So I forgot all about that. I forgot about these requiring that. But regardless, let's take a look. It's crafting. It's crafting it now. So you can see it's at 8%. It's going to go through this full process, and that's going to take some time. So I don't think there's any way I can speed that up. I don't want to utilize the rest of my time in a bottle. I want to do this right here, though, because I like to be difficult. So what we'll do in the meantime, while that's doing its thing, is we're going to come back down here, and I am going to set these back up to begin building, setting up our antimatter pellets. Because you see I have 1.96 million, 1.9 million MB of polonium in here. If I do this right here, change this over to energy, do this, come over to this one, do this. This will now send this stuff through, and it will craft our antimatter pellets. Well, again, we need 11 antimatter pellets for the Wither Compass. So that one's being created. So it would take probably, I don't know how long this is going to take, but we'll keep an eye on it. But that's gonna take some time to build. So we have a ways before we actually start creating the we have some time before we actually start doing the Wither Compass. Which actually, let me do 150 because I don't think that's going to be any. Yeah, that should be fine. My coolant tank is good, right? Yeah. Did look like it went down a little bit right there. Put that back down to 130. Yeah, it went down a little bit. 313, 600, 313, 125. Okay, so coolant tank does go down a little bit, but that should be fine. This is pretty much kind of pumping out. This is still pumping in. This is still pumping stuff through, so not too bad. This is basically going to get us two antimatter pellets with it like nonstop. So I'm not worried about that. Now let's jump back up here. Take a look. We're at 18%. Wow, that's crazy. Going so quickly, right? Let's take a look at our nether star. We're at 1.4K. So to make our last one, we're going to need 5,000 more, which we're a ways away from that. So probably in the next video. So this is episode number 195. So episode 196 is likely when we're going to finish our first ATM star, which is 4 episodes before 200, which is really good. In the next video, after we do our first ATM star, after we finish that, during that video, I'm going to focus on the Philosopher's Fuel and probably the pulsating black hole. Actually, I might do... Let me take a look because I don't want to do something that is going to take like a significant amount of time. Yeah, I'm likely going to do the Philosopher's Fuel and maybe the Pulsating Black Hole if we have enough time. I'm going to save the Improbable Probability device for later because we do need a lot of resources for the storage component. And the Wither Compass and the Dimensional Seed will probably be the two of the last ones that we do, just because of the fact that they're going to require a significant amount of resources. And I have to wait for the antimatter pellets, my 9 antimatter pellets, to be completed before I can do anything with the Wither Compass. This is at 26%. So, yeah. So, I mean, this is pretty much the gist of creating the Nexium Emitter. It takes time, especially if you don't have the resources readily available. Like I did not have the resources. Oh, by the way, this singularity right here, see? For some odd reason, it's not creating the singularity. It's kind of weird. But basically, 256,000 per item. I think you need more than a 1K. Let me see if I have a 5K storage or if I have a bigger storage component. I do not. Storage. Can I make one of these without it affecting the... Oh, okay, cool. I did. Okay. So if I plot that right there, that should be enough for maybe 256,000. Because I think it requires 256,600. No, 256. Yeah. So I think you need to have the 64K ME storage component in there to make the singularity. So I was incorrect on that. So my apologies. But you live and you learn. Am I right? So yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. So 31%. Now let's take a look at the 1048M, see what all resources we'll need for this. Slime should be pretty simple. All the Modium nuggets, that's easy. Quartz, easy. And sand. It's probably going to be the more difficult thing because sand is requires me to physically go out and actually get the sand. But yeah, so we're pretty much on the path to starting and basically getting through a lot of the chunks of our second ATM star. Doing the things that take the longest is going to be probably the things you should do first. You can see right here, this is up to 241. It's really not going that fast considering. I was hoping it would go faster. It's still inputting a lot more than it's outputting. Actually curious why this isn't going any faster. I mean, there's enough energy in here, is there? I don't know. That's strange. Cool. Where are we at? 36%. Where we at the Nether Star? That's another thing. 4,700 away. I think by the time we finish with the Nexium Emitter, we'll already have the Nether Stars done, the last Nether Star block done. But yeah, so luckily I have a ridiculous amount of like quartz or cobblestone and cobbled deep slate, end stone. I have a ridiculous amount in there, so I'm not too worried about resources. Yep. Let's take a look at if there's a way to speed this up and maybe set up a better solution for outputting power. Because it can output up to 262.96 million FE. And it's inputting 9.99 million FE per tick, which is, by the way, insane. Can I make a stack of these? I can. Let's see how that works. Let's see how long it takes to make a stack of unobtainium allomodium alloy blocks. Why not, right? Since we're here. But that's a big thing, too, that you'll need to do is you'll need to... Wait, why are you guys... I don't understand why this is... not fully powered. That's a concern. What else would you, what other problem? Like, okay, hold on. Let's see here. What if I do this? I'm probably not going to make those. All those probably won't go through properly. What if I can do this right here? Instead of having two separate quantum entangleporters, I set up a direct path from this to my, I don't want to get rid of that. Don't want to get rid of that. But if I set up a direct path from there straight to that, let me see. Oh, I did make. Cool. I didn't mean to do that. Whatever. Cool. Okay. Let's get rid of these. Oh my God. That's a lot faster. Okay. Let's see how much this is. Okay. So this is outputting more than it's inputting now, which is what I want, because I want this to go this fast. So inevitably, like in the reality of things, this is going to, oh my God. If you want to really pump out your antimatter pellet capability, create these things, create these ginormous pieces of, like look at this. Look how fast this is going up. Is it going to get to 1100 before it sends the antimatter pellet? It is. It got to 1100 before it even sent the antimatter pellet out. That's insanity, man. So that's pretty good. That's very good. Gonna put those away. EV, where are you at now? You're up to 51%. So these right here, obviously, surprisingly, are actually going a lot smoother now since I changed that. I have all of these as nitro ones, so they're the top tier of energizing rods, which work towards getting to that point if you can, but just know that it will take time. This is up to 31%. It's only been going on for three minutes, and it's already done with however many. I think it's done with it's done with 20 already in just about 4 minutes. That's crazy. This is at 50%, so this should be done here pretty soon. Cool. All right. Look at our nether stars. Where are we at? 4,400? Yeah, it probably won't be that quick. Oh well, not a problem. It's already done with another one? Oh my goodness. Why didn't I do that sooner? Oh, well, it's out of polonium. How much fissile fuel do I have in here? Still 36 million, so that's good. That's good. That's good. That's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted it to just completely destroy my brain. I don't know why I don't know why I didn't think of that it would do that. I didn't know it would do that, honestly. That's awesome. Yeah, so once we finish the Nexium Emitter, we'll be done with this episode. I'll probably cut it down a little bit so that it's not like some dead air moments. But Yeah. Yeah. Pretty good. I mean, it's definitely making a wave. So you can take a look in here. So we're at 64,000. It will take some time for that to finish up. So I'm not too worried, but because we already had singularities created. So if you're going to, just for future, for anybody out there who is doing this from the beginning, basically, and starting off, once you get to the applied energistics section where you're creating the singularities, I would recommend, even after you create the first one, create a couple more afterwards. Those are going to be pretty useful for you moving onwards. The quantum network bridge, I don't actually think so. There was one thing you have to do with the quantum network, and it's if I remember correctly, it is these quantum entangled singularities. You have to use a tiny TNT with a singularity and ender pearl to create two quantum entangled singularities. So you do technically have to get to this point, but it's only for this one individual thing, and you don't actually have to do anything else with it. If I remember correctly, it goes into the pulsating black hole. So if you look at the pulsating black hole, there is a ME quantum ring. Once you create the ME quantum ring, which again, this comes to when we get to the point of talking about the pulsating black hole, this is pretty much all you need for the ME quantum ring, and it's not that difficult to make. The energy cell is probably going to be not the harder part, but the energy cells, I don't know. It's just it's not that difficult. It's really not that difficult. You'll get there. It'll be fine. You'll do great. 64%, 67%. It's been 7 minutes and we've already created 40 alloys. So if I go back to unobtainium, you can see we have 49 of these. So if I do this right here, I can make 5 unobtainium alloy blocks. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, so the sun's coming back up. Let's go back down to our low side. See how quickly this. See what how much we saved up or how much we got in here. 1.3 million, which that'll be about 600,000. It'll go a lot slower now because we don't have anything. We don't have enough nuclear waste. If I were to basically disconnect this piece right here, let the nuclear waste build, I would have to get up to like 10 million to be able to push enough through to make even close to a singular one of these. So you can see it'll start going through, and it's only going process rate based on how much polonium that is being pushed in. So it will go up a lot slower now. You can see it's not going up nearly as fast, unfortunately, but we did get 2 antimatter pellets out of that little time period. So what I might end up doing is disconnecting it again and allowing it to kind of run on its own and store up as much energy as it can. Let's look at our nether stars again. I don't know why, but we're 4,200 away. Let's create these bad boys. Whoopsies. Beautiful. 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 So this Saturday video, so today is Saturday for you guys. So technically 2 videos are going up today. So this one's going up at 10 a.m. and the next one should be up at 7:30 p.m. The next video today is likely when we're going to hit creating the ATM star. Hopefully it goes smoothly. I have faith that it will go smoothly. I think we're done with these here in a few. Okay, not too far away. This is at 71%. But yeah, so really, if I'd completely forgot the EV solar panel would take so long, or I would have started that at the very beginning. But once you basically get to this point right here, you are pretty much good. Wait, where's my wireless? Hold on. Really? Let me just make another one that isn't charged. My goodness gracious. It's ridiculous. while this one's finishing up, I can go ahead and just make this stuff real quick. Not a problem. So we'll need So we'll start with this one right here. So we need 3 advanced processors. So I need 2 more of these. Beautiful. Which we're out of processing plans now. That's good. Just what I wanted to see. Okay. So now we'll need the grids. So actually we need more of these. Great. Beautiful. Okay. Where is it at? There it is. Beautiful. So I need 3 regular grids. A couple of those. Construction core. A couple basic processors. A couple. I think I need more than 7. I'm gonna be smart to make more than 7, but whatever. So basically, this is very simple to make. I need one more. It's a recommendation that you make 3 grids. So once you make your 3 grids, you make a bunch of these. Then now we should be able to make our 1. So 3 of those. Got it. Make our 1 of you. Can make our U. And then can make our U. So then now we'll make our U. And now we need to wait, I didn't need that. Now we need to make U. Beautiful. Now we can make U. The reason I'm getting these advancements because in these quests completed is because I didn't actually move these into my inventory when I did it last time. So don't at me, bro. So yeah. All right. So now we're just waiting on the EV solar panel. So basically, like that. EV. And it should almost be done. It's at 80%, so it's not too long away. Oh my goodness gracious. Coal dust. Which one of these is doing coal dust? Where's slime ball? Oh, cured rubber. You know what? Could just do this right here. I can't put it in there. That should speed it up a little bit, right? Yeah, just a little bit. There we go. That's beautiful. I don't know what the coal dust is for. What is coal dust again? Oh, I think that's the this guy over here. Crusher. Okay, so I did something that I should have caught on to earlier. Wait a minute, what? Oh no. Hold on. Okay. Okay, there we go. Whew. Got nervous there for a second. Grab one of you, craft one of you, craft, oops. Craft one of you, craft. Okay. So then we'll plop, 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 and we'll do importer. We'll craft one of you. We're missing blocks of iron. But you think you're missing a block of iron. We need an importer. We need an exporter. The reason I'm doing this is because I need to have an exporter and an importer linked to this device for it to work appropriately. I also need a cable, a couple cables. I genuinely forgot all about this. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why you guys let me do this. But we're going to do this right here. And we're going to, oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. Now we're going to plop you down right there. Do this, do this. Then now this should start sending coal through, right? So if I bring this back down here, I do that, and now I'll come back to here and do EV, start. Still not pulling. Let me just grab a bunch of coal. Need to get some speed upgrades in here. How much do I need? 431. I don't know why this isn't working properly. Oh, you know why? So we'll do there we go. Now it should show that it's going down. Got it. Okay. Q. Yeah, so whenever you set up a situation like that, you need to make sure that you are utilizing the proper imports and exports with the patterns and everything, because if you don't, then you won't get what you need, basically. But we should be almost done here. It's at 13%. Oh my goodness. What do you mean 13%? Come on, man. Whatever. All right, let's go back down and take a look at our... I'm actually going to go back down and disconnect, reconnect, or disconnect the stuff in here, because I want to allow this to grow. So we'll do gas. We'll move this back down to gases. We'll disconnect those, and then we'll allow these to kind of grow. This took a significant amount of what we needed, and now we're going to put this back down to 20. And allow this, our fissile fuel over here, to get back up to max, which I think it's going up, right? Yeah, it's going up. Okay, cool. Sweet. Let's make sure we have, while I'm down here and kind of playing around, let's make sure I have everything I need in here. What is it fluctuating on? Uranium oxide. Okay. So it has enough hydrofluoric acid. I need uranium. I need you. Beautiful. And that should fill that back up. Yep. Sweet. Cool. See? Everything's working out. Lag. I'm gonna do that because I've been playing for a couple hours non-stop now. Nether Star, we're up to 3K, which means we're about 3,500 away from our last Nether Star 3-time compressed block. Crazy. Don't have another crusher, unfortunately. What's another way we can make coal? We can make coal dust. Macerator. Oh wait. Boom. Look at there. We're pretty much about to be done. Easy. And we're done. Now, we have created... Oh my god, I was typing our Nexium Emitter. So we now have our second or our third object out of the 9 that we are going to be working on. So we can throw our... Oh, wait, that's where I put that. And that's where I put the player transmitter. I'm an idiot. I just went through all of that for nothing. Anyway, not a problem. So we have completed 3 of the 9 that we're going to be looking at. We're going to be taking a revisit on to re-expand and kind of get into more of an educational explanation version for newer players. Kind of show why it takes so long to make each of these individual things, but also to provide some type of information on, well, what this stuff is and how to use it, basically. One last check before we go on. We are 3,400 away from finishing our Nether Star. So in the next video, we will be completing our ATM. Wow. That's crazy, isn't it? So we have done the Creative Essence. We have done our Oblivion Shard and our Nexium Emitter. Next video, we will likely do the Philosopher Fuel. And if we can get to it, maybe the Pulsating Black Hole. So with that being said, let me mark those 2 down in here. So Philosopher's Fuel and Pulsating Black Hole. Okay. Yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so very much for watching. We have done 3 out of 9. Waiting for the last Nether Star 3 times compressed to be made, and then we'll be done with our first ATM star. That's exciting. I'm genuinely excited, and hopefully you guys are enjoying these longer videos. Hopefully, if you are newer, you enjoy these longer, more longer videos that explain things a little bit better than what I did in throughout the series. So these are just the revisit of these particular items. We're not doing every single item, particularly because that would take far too long. But with all of that being said, thank you guys so very much for watching. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video. If you didn't enjoy the video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what I could do differently to make these videos more enjoyable. Also, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. We're so close to that 250 subscriber mark that I would love to hit before April 21st. If we don't, no big deal. If we do, that's grand. Thank you guys again. Join our Discord. Link down in the description. See you guys next time. Goodbye.